This week in 3D Archery, take you on my course for the Second Chance 3D Archery Shoot. Hey everybody, welcome to 3D Archery. Greg here. Alright, I have an archery shoot tomorrow, Saturday, and I don't compete in my shoots. I run them. I don't think it's right. I know that course better than anybody because I set everything up. I know where all the stakes are, I know the distances, I know all the tricks, all that. I just don't think it's right. So, I do want to shoot it. And I figured, you know what? Let me give you a guided tour. So that's what we're going to do today. So our shoot is held on public land. It's private land donated over to the LDWF, that's Louisiana Department of Wildlife and Fisheries. And that gunfire here is the game wardens. They've took part of the land and they made their academy over on that side of the property. They got a pistol range, they got an Olympic-sized swimming pool so they can learn how to do their life-saving and all that other stuff. They got the classrooms, everything else, but in the cafeteria, and they're slowly encroaching on our land. So there's going to come a day where we're not going to be able to be here at all. But what can you do? So one of the things we do have is a beautiful practice range. Now we don't pay nothing for this. This is all targets put up by LDWF, and it's open Tuesday through Saturday every day except for holidays from 7:30 to 5:30. They got automatic opening gates and they close automatically. So that's how they open and close the place. They don't have to have staffing. There's two ponds over here for fishing, which I'll show you here in a second. All right, so before we head out, I do have to take a shot or two. I'm going to shoot the Velociraptor. It's about 23 to 25 yards. Not bad, not bad. Wasn't really aiming, I was just working on form. I was aiming, but I wasn't like locked in, dead serious. Zoom me in so you can see what I did. Pretty happy. One bad shot. And that's the low one. And that's because I did not come and use my shoulder blade to draw. 23 to 25 yards. Yeah, I'll take that. Alright everybody, here I am out on the course, and you're going to see about our course, I could only do and work with what I had. We don't have big trails. These are deer trails, very narrow, windy and things like that. People say, Greg, why don't you bring in a brush hog and widen out? I can, only for a very little part of it, and I'll show you why in a little bit. So the first target here is something I made. I wanted something different, and I came up with a way. Right there, the monster, the Rougarou. I believe that's how you say it. I can never say it right. Made out of plywood, foam core. I cut a 10 and 11 ring in. Now most shots today, the farthest shots are 19 yards, and they work their way on in. All right, let me set up my other camera, give you a downrange, and we'll see how the old man does. Not bad, not bad. shot an 11. So the one thing I did do, certain stations like this one, what's the scoring? So I put out scoring signs. You shoot them through the eyes, which are hollow, at 0 points. Did that just to be, you know, goofy. You hit anywhere in the woods, 5. Anywhere in the foam inserts, 8, 10, and the 11 ring. I also have other signs up for different things, which you'll see as we go on through the course. All right, not a bad way to start. Let's see what we got waiting for them at Station 2. So here in Louisiana, it is flat. We don't have uphill shots, downhill shots. Station 1 is a downhill, but all this is an old washout area from a river. So it's sunken. And after this, there's very few hills. But I did manage to move down about 20-30 yards from the last station, and we're going at an angle for safety reasons. I found a little uphill shot, so I made that. Now we're using 3 stakes, red, blue, and yellow. Red is for males, blue is for females, yellow is for youth. And for the male and females, I haven't broken down the recurve and longbow. 3D shoots down here, we're lucky to get 20-30 people. It's like a good shoot down here. It's horrible. So it's just not worth it to break it up anymore. All right, see what I can do with this guy. Didn't bring my binos. I'm gonna have to shoot where I hope it is. That's an 8, but it's a second chance shoot. Well, that's where I wanted to shoot. 2 shots in the same spot. Oh well, looks like 2 8s. Let me go up, get my arrows. And the other thing you got to be mindful of out here is wildlife. I try not to bother them and hope they don't bother me. Here I'm at Station 3. I don't know if you see it or not. Spider webs are everywhere, so if you're the first person, you always eat them. You'll hear gunfire throughout the day. They're not here on Saturdays. Saturdays they're off. I wanted something different for a bear. At work, a guy had a 55-gallon drum, gave it to me, and in honor of Jeff Krug and others that I used to shoot with who love puns, it's unbarrelable. Alright, you can see the bridge. That's why we can't bring in a brush hog. Not standing water, it's a stream, but when there's no water, it's that muck. And how am I going to get a brush hog across all that? That's our problem we have. So that's why we're doing what we're doing. See if I can get past this guy. I think I can. Yeah. All right. Good enough. I ain't doing 2 on each one. I'll bring you up and show you something pretty cool about the course. So in many places, which you'll see, deer trail course, but many animals use the bridge, but not all of them. Right? Yep, and you can see all the little toads running around, things like that. But that's one of the things we have. Scat from somebody. So you just seen the snake. Turn this corner and there's an even bigger one. This one was about that thick. I normally don't see snakes out here, but getting warm, they're all probably hanging out in the sunlight. So one thing I like to do in all my stations, give them names. Like this one's called varmints. Then I have a shooting one because it has 2 targets, and the dots correspond with the stakes, and it tells you who needs to shoot which target. I don't care how much communicate, how many signs you put out, there'll still be that one person that didn't get it. That felt good. I hope it's a good shot. Being the ever thoughtful club that we are, we got free food for everybody. This is the shot from the stake. I'm downrange and all that. I can't get it in. I'd be blocking it, so I'm just showing it to you. We'll zoom in on the... I thought this would be a good, cool shot. Not bad. It's a lot easier than it looked. There's a lot of gap, you know. The question on that shot was whether I'd hit the 11 or not. Don't think I did. It's station 6, but although the sign says 4, because that was the old course when I first set it up. This one's called Jeff's Chickens, named after my good buddy Jeff Krug, greatest instinctive archer ever. He used to tell me stories about how the raccoons, all that, would get his chickens, and you know, so I thought it'd be a good one, and I put, poor Jeff, his chickens got out again, can you save them? But we added a twist to it. One of our club members, there's only like 5 of us, seen something, bought it, and goes, Greg, can you make this into a target? Sure can. And boy, it is different. It's a 6-foot tall rooster. Now, I like different targets. I don't like bowling alley shots in every single one. It's boring to me. It's target archery. I want target archery, I'll go shoot a target. I like to be challenged, different shooting positions, different things, shooting between things like that. It's personal preference. I understand not everybody likes it, so when I make my course, I have a temper that. In this one, I thought, you know what? Unique target. Let's have him shoot while standing on the bridge. Something different. Just to mess with people a little bit. But it shows you things don't change as much as you think. Now that said, I'm going to probably hit the metal. We'll see how we do. I missed the 11. Ugh. Wait. Second chance. A good solid 10. I like the thong noise it makes. Hey, it's consistent. I'll take consistency any day of the week. That's cool. I like the little thong noise it makes. This area floods. I mean, it floods all the time. See my sign? I'm going to stand next to it. Hopefully I don't get bit. Alright. I'm 5'9". The water's over the height of this thing. It's brown. Water's this deep. So the water here gets over 5 feet deep from there, and it's another 2-3 feet down to the bottom of the stream bed. This place floods all the time, and I'll show you what I had to do to protect our targets. We actually had one flood. A buck target floated away. We lost it. About a year, a little more than a year later, we had a second flood. The buck target came back. And I knew to do it, mosquitoes, I had to secure them. And I found these dog stakes that you screw into the ground. They work great, and I run a wire to them or a rope and attach my targets. And we've had multiple floods. Yeah, they're knocked over and things like that, but they're all here. It's just one of the challenges that we have here in Louisiana. Like I said, I hate bowling alley shots. They're just boring. It's the same thing. So the animal changes. Woohoo! 10 rings almost always the same size, so it doesn't really change. Found this spot, and I go, man, that's awesome. Because if you do it just right, your arrow's just going to pass above the ground. All right, let's take a shot and see how we do. Both cameras are on. Oh, looks just outside the 11. Could be a line cutter 10. Try it again. Ooh, so close. You know, you can't have an 11 every time, Greg remarked. I know, but I really want them. On this shot, I switched the red and blue stakes, so now the females are shooting farther than the men, just to change things up. I wanted to call this shot after John Cena, "You Don't See Me," but I haven't been able to make a sign up for it. It is close. That's the whole thing, is to keep the distance varied so you can't get in a rhythm. You're shooting far, you're shooting close, you're shooting this, you're shooting that. Well, let's see what we got. Low 10. So I will invoke that second chance. And that's why you do the second chance. We have 2 shoots a year, right? Second chance and the Louisiana Traditional Archers Rendezvous. But we have 2 courses. They're the same one, but the one we're using today is what we call the short course, only half a mile. And then, which I'll show you later, it breaks off and you can keep going, and it's a mile long. And on that one, we do this one. You stand back about 5 to 6 yards, you got to shoot between these 2 trees and hit a boar. But I don't like having the same thing every time. I like different. So I went and moved them. I think it's a pretty cool shot. Let's see what we got, all right? One of the things I made was bow racks out of spare antlers and all that from targets we don't know, club no longer has. Found a whole big old box full of just antlers. They're all artificial, but you know what? Cheap little bow rack. This one I thought would be cool because you got to shoot over the one to hit the other for the red stake. Blue stake's down there, yellow stake's way up there. And I made it so you don't really can't really stand right. You're not going to have that classic archer pose, feet shoulder width apart. You're going to have to put either closed stand or stand like me, 1 foot way higher than the other. I'm just going to take it. That was sweet. All right. I think it's an 11, but I'll take a 10 because it just felt good. Got this raccoon, and I still don't know where the scoring rings are. I made a sign up for it, but it's down by the target. Don't know. I'm going to try a second one. I'm going to shoot hopefully a little lower. Well, hopefully one of those 2 is a 10. One of my big things is course signage. I've been to courses where there's no signs out there. We got lost, came back, complained, and they spoke to me like I was stupid. They're like, "Well, you're supposed to turn left at the fork." How do I know that? You know, so I always try to make my course to where it's for somebody who's never been here before. So if you see one sign, you should be able to see the next one. A lot more work, but I really think it's worth it. This next one's pretty cool. This is the Comeet River. And boy, that puppy floods like you wouldn't believe. And this target here, you'll see just from the color of it, it's always muddy because it spends as much time in water as it does out of water. You know, moving down here, everybody was saying, "Oh, the mosquitoes down in Louisiana, they take away small children." Mosquitoes ain't nothing down here. We had them much worse in New York. But what they have down here is these flies. Not only they're deer flies, which are radioactive, they got horse flies with these massive green eyes. And those puppies sting, and when they're out, you don't want to be. That's how bad they are. Alright, got a javelina. Speaking of mosquitoes, right in my face. Ooh, might be a low 10. Yeah, that might be a 10. Let's see. That is definitely a 10. 2 good shots, I'll take them. But that's why the second chance helps you. Unique targets, right? I made that. I made this as a joke. It's actually a 3D foam, like the animal is made out of. But when people try to talk politically correct, you know, the hunters, well, I harvested a deer. Well, now you can harvest a pumpkin. I just thought it'd be a neat, you know, something different. I'll take that. Looks like an 11 right off the bat. I'll go down and show you my scoring. You know, can't be serious all the time. That's all I'm going to say. Right. 11, center, 10, 8. And if you hit that little green stem, that's 5 points. Most clubs put out water during the shoot. We do too. This is our water at Station 13. But when I went to Europe, Deutschland and Österreich, they had it out all the time. And I go, you know what, I like that. So this is out all the time. Now it's not this. Now I'm opening it up. Look in to make sure you don't get bit by nothing. Because it is Louisiana. Bottled water for you. All right. And the other problem we have, not a problem, it's a challenge. Fallen trees. Massive tree fell. Blocked the course. We had to reroute it. We're always rerouting it, coming out here with chainsaws, cutting things. And the 2 people that do it's me. I'm 63 and Nancy's much, well, I can't say much, but Nancy's older than me. So you got 2 elderly people out here keeping this whole thing up, you know. I just hope people appreciate it. All right, next one's one of my favorites, which I never score well on. So my score is going to go, but I get 2 tries. I love moving targets. I would have many more on our course. We only have 1 in the short and 1 on the long. This is what I call the flying pig. All you do is pull the string. It's real easy to release. But I put this sign here because I see people in the competition only 1 person time. Dude, 3 of you can line up here and shoot all at the same time while 1 person pulls the string. So I'll show you. Let's see how it goes today. See if I got to lubricate it up. Just held in by a pin. Pull the string. And yeah. And there you go. I even put a wing on them, you know, pigs can fly. All right, let's set them up. Let's try to take a shot. Hardest part about this is if you're by yourself, releasing it and shooting it. So you gotta knock your arrow ahead of time, especially left-handed. Pull the string. Might be an 8, probably a 5. Yep, it was a 5. Just outside the 8. Alright. Thank God for that second shot. Alright, let's go up and take a look. First one's a 5, second one's a very solid 8, which I will take. Oh, look at that, same height. Had half the shot. So the big problem with this is no string, and that's because all the undergrowth. And I found when you use a string, the drag slows the target down. And I do like to keep it a little bit quick. Alright, number next. Signage. Small sign here. There was a bigger one, but the tree took it out. It says this way to Station 10 and more fun. So here you go the long course, and it's got a lot of really cool stuff on it. But for today, using the short course. One thing that one of our members did, which you'll see here in the downrange, they painted the 10 ring orange. And they did that to help the instinctive archers so they have a point to aim at. Well, I don't mind it. Gives me something to aim at. Doesn't mean I can hit it though. Just above it. Ooh, that's close. That's close. Alright, let's go up and do my score. This is the shot from the red stake. I like it. It's a nice little tunnel. And you can see the little orange marking on the 10 for people. Slowly we'll back out. Station 16, instead of switching the stakes, I switched the targets. So normally red would shoot the farther, but now you're shooting the closer and blue's shooting the farther. But it all sort of works out. It really only messes with red, because blue's in their range. I tried to keep blue 15 and under, red 20 and under. Ooh, I see it. Bad shot. Grip and grip. Well, ain't gonna be no 11. Should be a 10 though. Scoring ring on this one's different. It's not where you think it is. Might be a low 10. Well, since I really don't know, I'm hoping. Let's go take a look. Turns out this target had no scoring ring, so I made the insert the 8, the orange dotted 10, there is no 11. And I made it real close. Don't need for a second. Yuck. Think I swallowed a skeeter. Just walked face first into a big massive spider web because I was looking down, looked up. Ugh. Now I'll be paranoid for where's that spider. Alright. Station 19. I'll show you when we're done. This is gotta mark this off. Skeeters. Yeah. That was better. Probably a 10. All right. My coyote shot, so we don't trample all the vegetation between it. We made a little path here, a little arrow says, so to get your target. But I realized that's where the long course comes out. I'm going to put some caution tape up so people don't walk that way. But, you know, just the little things you got to think about. Last station, bobcat. Notice not a whole lot of big targets. Wasn't really intentional, it's just how it worked out. So far, I think it's a pretty decent course. I'll give you my thoughts here when we're finished. Low 10, but I was distracted by a bug. That might be what I needed. And one of the last signs when you're leaving is always show gratitude, what you do. Thank you for watching, thank you for subscribing, and thank you for hitting that like button, trying to spread the word about 3D archery. Got one more sign to show you. Big believer in ABP, always be promoting. I put this on 2 spots in the course. You know, this is our next event. Come join us. This is the one for tomorrow. I had the one for September, which I'll put up next. But I love doing that. All right, I'm done. Let me sit back, think about it for a few minutes, and we'll talk about the course, what I think about it, and how I did. All right, everybody, there you have it. I don't remember how many stations didn't have an 11. I know one for sure. So the max you can get is a 219. I shot a 206. Pretty happy, right? I had 10 11s, 8 10s, 2 8s, no 5s, and a 0. And I didn't have to do that many doubles, and a bunch of them I hit a 10, I called it even. So I could have, you know, bumped it up a point or two, but to me that's not the point. If I hit a 10, I'm done. I don't need to shoot again. So it is how it is. So what do I think of the course? For me, solid. I can see some people complaining about the distances, 19 yards on like 3 shots, 3 out of 20. All the rest are under it, but I think farther shots are important. I know 19 to some people ain't far, but here in the States it is, especially for trad archers with no sights, no gear, none of that stuff. The Rougarou's downhill, the Catalina's uphill, the Bear's in the barrel, the Armadillos are small, the Pronghorn was close, the Rooster's unique, the Boar, where you just shot over the ground, that's unique, the Deer, nothing hard, but you know, close. Then the Boars from the hill, that's a nice shot, throws off the distance estimation. The Raccoon, small target. The Javelina, slightly downhill and at an angle, that makes the challenge. And that Pumpkin, unique target, shot close. Flying Pig, moving target, it's one of my 8s, that in the Catalina. The Grouse, small animal, small 10, that's going to really, you know, separate those that can control their shot, those that can't. And then the Turkey, through that little tunnel shot for the red. The blue's not so bad. I like that tunnel shot. It just looks cool to me. Then you got the 2 Javelinas, which are fairly close. You got the Buck, which is a great shot. It's just like, looks like a hunting shot. The Turkey with no scoring rings, that's the one without an 11. And then the Coyote at the end, and the Bobcat. So that's my course. We'll see how it goes. I'll be back here first thing in the morning. I got to go out and put out 2 signs and do a final walkthrough, and I will be done. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to subscribe, and if you can, check out our September shoot, because that's the big one. I got a bunch of raffle prizes I'm lining up already. We're going to have a Last Archer standing competition and a speed shooting competition. It's lining up to be a fun day. All right, everybody. Till next time.